I've noticed that I've been getting very easily distracted lately, having difficulties focusing on my task at hand, always checking my phone and my email, or just getting distracted by every little thing happening around me. But I know that deep work is such an important skill to both help me get things done, increase my creativity, while lowering my stress all at the same time. As Cal Newport said in his book Deep Work, the ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at exactly the same time it is becoming increasingly valuable in our economy. So I've decided to do this challenge of retraining myself for deep work and focus for the next 7 days by doing these things every single day. A distraction-free morning routine. I'm going to make sure that I don't check my phone nor email in the morning. In fact, I'm not even going to turn on my phone until after I complete one full session of deep work in the morning. I'm usually pretty good with not checking my phone first thing in the morning, since I turn it off at night before going to sleep and I don't really use it for alarm or anything. Checking your phone first thing in the morning creates a low level of unneeded stress. It scatters your brain and blocks clarity. It stops you from doing what you're supposed to do and creates a sort of procrastination first thing in the morning. Instead, I'm going to do my regular morning routine, making my bed, cleaning myself, getting dressed, drinking water, and maybe going out for a jog. I'm also going to add 30 minutes of meditation every single morning. Research has already shown the many ways meditation can help with both increasing focus, attention span, and decreasing stress. I definitely feel the effect. Every time I meditate, it helps me to become more aware of my own mind. It helps me to delay satisfaction, and whenever I feel stressed out, it works super well to help me slow down and relax. Single tasking, finishing a task before the next. A clear sign of distraction in me is when I have trouble doing one single task at a time. A couple days ago, I even found myself watching TV, and during like a slower part, I picked up my phone to look at a second screen. My inability to focus also comes from a sort of impatience. I get ahead of myself, thinking about the next thing when I'm still doing the first thing. But I realize this is making me feel super chaotic and anxious. It's definitely not bringing me any happiness or calm. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to force myself to single task, making sure I slow down my mind and that it's on the task I'm actually doing. Focus sessions. Deep work sessions are defined pockets of time that we dedicate to performing deep, concentrated work without distraction, work that is highly demanding of our focus and cognitive resources. Deep work is in contrast to shallow work, where we perform short tasks that don't demand a lot of deep thinking. Things like checking email, responding to messages, scheduling meetings. I'm going to assign myself 4 sessions of deep work per day, lasting 1.5 hours each. During this time, I'm not going to do anything else outside of my work, including scripting, editing, filming, or painting. There will be no phones, no email checking, no breaks, and no snacks. The longer session is supposed to help me get fully immersed in the task and see if I can enter into a deep state of focus and flow. I definitely think this will be the toughest part of the challenge, so we'll see how it goes. Reading. Personally, reading is a super helpful activity to increase my concentration. I read analog books only, and sometimes I take notes, sometimes I don't. So I'm assigning myself 1 hour of reading per day away from my computer and my phone. Reading reassures me that I can slow down. Just take things one word at a time, no need to skip ahead nor take shortcuts. It forces me to single task, to think deeply about what I'm reading, and to fully engage my brain. It's a low stimulation activity, so it also gets my brain used to the slower rhythm. It's usually when we do these slower and easier tasks that we learn how to regain our focus. Things like reading, journaling, writing on a sheet of paper. In China, we have this practice of calligraphy to help people regain their concentration, where people would write with a brush or a pen the same words over and over again to attain more beautiful handwriting. One super important thing before I forget is taking breaks. We all know that taking a break is essential to help us rest our bodies, regain energy, and even generate new ideas. So I've built in breaks of 15 to 20 minutes each in between my deep work sessions where I just allow myself to do random tasks. I could watch YouTube, take a nap at my desk, check my phone, check my emails, or get snacks and cook. My cats are experts at taking breaks, since that's all they do all day long. Phoenix, what is a good length for a break? I also make sure I get some full relaxation at night. So, starting from like 8 p.m. or so, I take showers, I watch TV, I play with my cats. This allows me to end the day on a very stress free mode. Okay, so it's the end of the first day, and if I have to use one word to describe my day, it would be tiring. Throughout the day, I had to fight constant impulse to check my phone and my email. Basically, every time I was feeling a little bit bored or I didn't know what to do, or maybe I was a little bit troubled by my task at hand, then I wanted to reach for my phone. One time, I didn't even realize that I was checking my phone until like 5 minutes into it. My mind was just not used to focusing on a single task, so everything I did felt very long. The focused deep work sessions were especially difficult. I kept having small to dos pop up in my head, like checking my channel, checking my dentist appointment, feeding my cats, or making sure my cats had water. But it's important to see these things for what they are, distractions, and put them aside momentarily. Deep work is shown to physically rewire your brain, cementing important neural pathways for learning, strengthening the connections between neurons so they can fire together faster. This means when you're focused intensely on a specific skill, you're literally changing your brain to better perform that skill. You're also teaching your brain to focus better for longer. So it's been 8 days since I started my challenge, and I have to say, I've noticed a lot of growth. First thing I noticed was that my deep work sessions got much easier. Whereas in the beginning, it was very hard for me to stay the entire session. Near the end of the 8 days, I felt like it was very easy to get into a flow state. And once I'm in that flow state, I feel like difficult tasks just get easier. I'm able to finish a lot of my work, including very difficult and creative work or work that I've just been putting off. These deep work sessions also push my brain capacity to its max, where sometimes I get out of it, I take a break, and I feel like I just came out of a trance or a dream. The second thing I noticed is that I'm much better at single tasking now. I don't get as many disruptive thoughts even when I'm doing more boring tasks like chores. When I do something, I make sure to finish it before I start the next task. And because of that, I'm no longer always thinking about being efficient and doing as much as I can. So overall, I definitely feel a lot more orderly, a lot less anxious, and just more calm. If you also struggle with problems of concentration and procrastination, I highly recommend trying these two things: deep work sessions and doing single tasks. Try it out for yourself and let me know what you think down below. I hope you found this episode interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a peaceful rest of the day. Bye.